All right, we're here at the Consumer Electronics Show with Larry Smith from Mod Systems. And Larry, what are we going to be looking at here?
We're looking at the Mod Systems NCR content download system to an SD card.
Good.
And this is the kiosk that we have deployed currently in technical trials at Blockbuster and at Hollywood Video.
Okay.
So what I'll show you is how easy it is to use the kiosk and download a movie onto an SD card that you can then play back in almost any environment you can think of.
Okay.
So first is, as you approach the screen, what you'll notice is there's a track loop playing. When you touch the screen, it brings up three primary categorization areas, and you can go into find your content basically three ways. You can either go into one of these primary marketing categories, or you can search by title of the actor, director, title of the movie, or you can browse the various categories that we've already developed so that it's pretty easy for the consumer to find the content. In this case, I'm going to go to our new releases, and we will look at, there's a number of new releases out here. In the case of Star Trek, if I wanted to see what that was, I bring up Star Trek, and what I have is movie details, and I have rent the movie, and I have view the trailer. So if I wanted to know what that particular title was, I could click on view trailer. The trailer comes up. It's the normal theatrical trailer that you would see in theaters. I can go to a full screen and, volume up, volume down. We have it turned down for display purposes here, but in the store obviously you can hear it. If I know what the title is already, but I'm just curious about some of the details of the movie, I tap the movie details screen and up comes all the information. So basic description of the movie, the actors that are involved, and the director, and I can access any of the other content we have in the system for those individual actors or directors just by simply tapping their names.
So say I want to rent Star Trek. What do I do?
All you got to do is hit the rent button.
Okay.
So I hit that. It automatically loads into my cart.
Yep.
I hit the cart button. It says, do you want to rent Star Trek? I say checkout. Yes, I do. If you have a promo code, you could enter that in as well. Then I simply slide my SD card into the SD reader.
And this is just a normal SD card like you'd have in your camera?
Yeah, this happens to be a Class 10, but it could also be a Class 6, any SD card really. Yeah. Right? If you know anything about SD cards, they develop them in classes. This happens to be the most recent class. But a Class 6 card will work just as well as any of the other cards. So the speed is a little different on each card. So the newer, higher class cards are faster. Class 10 is a little bit faster than a Class 6, but this Class 10 will download a movie in about 2 minutes, a 2 gig movie. So now I've got my user license agreement, and I just accept that. As you buy things online, you see those all the time. And then I simply swipe a credit card through the reader, and voila, goes through process of the card. Asks for my email address so that I can send you a email receipt, right?
Yep.
And then also, if you want additional information and promotional opportunities with other movies and discounts and things that are coming up, we can check that box and we'll send that to you as well. Or if you don't want to do either and you don't need the e-receipt, you simply click no thanks, as many people are wont to do. And now it starts to download. And what this tells me is that the card I'm downloading to has 2.5 gigs already used. I'm downloading 2 gigs now. And when I'm done downloading this current movie, I'll have 3 gigs worth of space left on this card.
Good.
And this gives me a progress percentage load. And while I'm waiting, I can also surf and look at other titles, right, to see if there's something else I might want to buy. And I can do that for all those initial marketing categories that I showed you on the first screen. So in this case, Best of the Decade, I could go in and see if there was any movies that might find particularly interesting. Another Harry Potter, Into the Wild, Bloody Sunday, 300. So you get a sense. So all the great movies from the last decade we put in this marketing group.
So just to close the loop, essentially once I have this on the SD card, what do I do with it?
Once you have it on the SD card, you can play it back on currently a proprietary box that we've developed, which we're now making in a reference design for manufacturers around the globe. We've also just come out with a PC player. So starting about end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter, when you go to one of our kiosks, we will download a player onto the card. When you stick it in a PC that has an SD slot, it'll automatically load that player and allow you to play that content. And then we've also developed a SD to USB converter. So you can buy this converter at retail, you can plug in your SD card and then put that into any USB slot on any PC that may not have an SD slot and play it back there as well. So we'll be making those boxes available coming up here very shortly, and you'll be able to get those at retail as well.
Great. Well, thanks very much.
You bet. Thank you.